now. Listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth. Right now.
Ooh.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it.
Hit it.
It's time for Mac's World. And here we go.
Everybody here. Everybody here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody. Showtime.
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
It is 7 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 14th day of July in the Lord's year, second millennium, 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. This is the Thursday edition of the show called Mac's World Live. It is a show that has been on the air in this market on 3 different radio stations over the course of my talk career. Prior to that, I played country music and I played this horrible stuff called New Age rock, which I just, the Beastie Boys.
The Devo, or the Devo? Was it Devo, the guys that had the pot plants on their head?
Yep. I played that for a while. But anyway, I'm glad to be with you on this Thursday afternoon. We have an exciting show for you today. The second hour is the CEO of Iowa's Black Lives Matter. I need your prayers. I mean, I really do. I don't do well sometimes with people who use racism or bigotry, Frank, to make their points. And you know what? That's a character defect of mine. That's a character defect of mine, and I want Jesus to help me deal with that, because Jesus teaches me to love everybody. You know who doesn't? You know who's not included in everybody? Nobody. Every drop of blood that Jesus shed on that cross was for everyone. And I don't get to blaspheme his crucifixion by saying there's just some people I can't love. Now, I do believe there's a difference, Chris, between like and love. And I think I need to learn that. I think that's where that character defect needs a little chiseling off, because I can still not like someone, not agree with what they're saying, and be lovingly about it. At least that's what Jesus tells me I can be. That's not my strength. I'm sorry. I'm busted and broken and sinful and living in sinful nature and all that stuff. I every character defect you want to lay on me, except too skinny, I'll probably accept. I mean, the Lord has asked me in this time in my season, in my life, this end of my life, this is the last stages of my life, has asked me to be teachable. Now, that is not something I ever felt I was. But what I learned in recovery, day 2263, without a drink, thank you, and I mean that, thank you. What I learned in recovery is the definition of humility, because I wasn't a humble guy. I mean, if I didn't toot my own horn, who was going to toot it for me, right? As an entrepreneur, if I'm not waving my flag, ringing the bell, clanging the cymbals, who's going to do it for me? I don't expect anybody to do it for me, so I got to do it on my own. So why would I be humble about it? What, the humble shall inherit the earth? I don't want the earth. But then somebody, his name was Carl, told me one day in some of my first few recovery meetings, way back in 2010, he came up to me and he said, "Brother," he said, "you are one of the most unhumble men I've ever met." He said, "Let me redefine it for you." He said, "Are you teachable?" And of course, at that point, I was broken. I was at the bottom of my rung, so of course I was teachable. And I said, "Sure, I'll be teachable." And he gave me a book. He gave me a pamphlet, because if he had given me a book, I wouldn't have read it. But he gave me a pamphlet that the difference between humility and teachable. And in the end of it started out, oh, here's humble, and here's teachable, and this is different, and this is different. And at the end, guess what? It's like the Trinity. They're all the same. Even though we can say this is spelled humble, and this is spelled teachable, and this is spelled humility, or whatever the third one was, just as in the Trinity, they all come from the Creator. So I need to be more humble and teachable when I get in front of people who use bigotry or race as a weapon, because I honestly didn't see color until somebody told me they were colored. I grew up in a town with very few people other than myself. There were not a lot of Latinos. There were 2 blacks in my community. They were brothers. One was a shoe shine guy, and the other one ran the power company. Talk about a weird deal, right? I never saw color until somebody said, hey, you treat me differently because I'm a different color. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Okay, now I will. And I'm not a racist guy. And so having a black woman in here today trying to convince me that Black Lives Matter more than any other life, I don't get that.
Well, I don't think she thinks that. I think
then why don't they change it to all lives matter?
We'll talk about that. And I think she'll be able to give you, I don't know this woman, but I suspect that she'll be able to give you a really fantastic answer. If she doesn't give you a good answer, I'll give you what answer I would give if I was in her shoes, which is kind of a weird thing to say. So I'm looking forward to hearing from her. But I
bet she has teeny little feet. Your big, fat, ugly Flintstone feet would never fit in her little itty-bitty Cinderella shoes.
You know, Mac, listening to you reminded me of something that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. Dr. King said...
Ouch, I'm shot! No, that wasn't it.
Oh, too soon. Dr. King said riot is the language of the unheard.
Ooh, riot is the language of the unheard.
And what you expressed right now
That's pretty cool. I like that.
It is very cool. He said that many different times in many different places, and I've meditated a lot about that in the last couple of weeks. And what's going on right now within the Black Lives Matter movement is that some folks are being peaceful and protesting peacefully. Some people are not. And Dr. Martin Luther King here was talking about the riots during his time. He didn't think that was the way to go forward, but he said sometimes when people aren't being heard, when they don't feel like they're being heard, it's the only thing they can do is throw a fit. And sometimes a riot is the only way they know how to throw a fit. You think of your small children. Sometimes if your kids aren't being heard or don't feel like they can communicate the right way, they're going to throw a fit and they're going to get mad. And one of the things that the church, Christians, need to do is we want to speak truth, but we also need to be listening. Love demands that we listen to people that are different than us so that we can hear them, so that we can understand them, and we can give them peace, because that's what they want. They want peace. All people want peace. Nobody wants more violence.
Well,
the enemy wants violence, right?
I was going to say.
The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Right, and Jesus comes to
give us life.
Well, but I just put it on my Facebook. I love this I think it comes out of Isaiah. Oh, shoot. Now I got to look at my Facebook. I put this on there today, and I think it is just one of my favorites in the whole world. And you can probably tell me what it is. Jesus came to heal the brokenhearted and set the captives free.
That's right.
And you know what's well, here, I won't go on the thing, but go ahead.
Well, but sometimes when we don't feel like we're being heard, all we're going to do is act out in violence. And when the church, when Christians, myself included, when all I do is speak truth at someone, they may not be able to hear my truth, what I'm saying to them, which is true, because they don't feel like they're being heard. And when they don't feel like they're being heard, they're going to act out, because that's the way that's what all of us do. I do it.
That's human nature.
That is human.
Not colored skin, different skin.
That's everybody's doing it. And right now, there's a large group of people in the United States that fundamentally do not feel like they're being heard, and they have had enough, and they're going to keep shouting until we really listen.
Back to your point on the earth, it's not the meek are going to inherit this sinful earth. They're going to inherit the new earth.
The meek shall inherit the new earth.
Yes.
How would you define? Am I meek? Be honest.
Now you are.
You mean like at 3:15:55 or
No, I mean
Temporarily.
the 4 or 5 year walk you've had with Christ, you're getting meeker because you're being conformed more in His image. And as you are conformed more in His image, the meeker. I have read that John the Revelator, called John the Beloved, John the Son of Thunder, John
John
and
the
James,
Baptist?
No, not John the Baptist.
Okay,
John,
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
the guy that was on Patmos who had been dipped in oil or tried to be killed in oil. I read commentary that he was the most conformed in the image and likeness of Christ, but he started out to be a wildcat. He was ready to rain down thunder on you in a heartbeat. And he was the most conformed in Christ's image.
Okay, let me give you a definition of meek since that word was brought up. And this is just, from the internet.
Well, it's Webster's.
I'm not
Funkin'
sure.
Wagnall?
Oxford.
Okay.
Okay. Quiet.
Oops.
Gentle. And easily imposed on. Submissive. Does that describe you, Mac?
No.
Yeah.
I know. I don't. I'm
Easily
using that-
imposed on. You're always accepting your church wants you to do something. Okay. You're easily
That
imposed
imposed
on.
on?
Yeah. If somebody says, hey, I
All
need
right, so
you
what's the first one? Quiet?
I don't like. I'm not a fan of looking things up in the dictionary, but because I don't agree with that definition.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, here's another one from Merriam-Webster. Having or showing a quiet and gentle nature.
Okay.
Not wanting to fight or argue with other people.
Okay.
You know what? That describes most dead people.
All right. We're gonna take a break.
But aren't we supposed to die?
all dead people.
When Jill says quiet, ha ha ha. When we come back, the new Pokemon
game
Rage.
Yes,
I mean,
this is a big
craze.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Chris is going to explain it to me because I don't understand it. And we're going to do that next with you live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on! This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, it's 20. Why do I see another crutch I have? Start everything out after coming out of a break with all right. 321, all right. 320, all right, one. I'm J. Michael McCoy. It's 14th day of July in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. I want to remind you, I know I talk about Seth Walker a lot, Matt Olson, but I'm working with him almost every day on some property. I found 10 acres over by Cummings that I really like.
Yeah.
And I have bought so many pieces of property over the years. I buy and sell. Don't think for one moment I have this huge barn of properties. I don't. I just buy and sell. Think how people buy and sell stock. I'll buy and sell houses. I'll buy it, flip it, sell it. Buy it, rent it out, sell it. And so you could imagine how busy I keep a realtor. Because
right.
I'm driving down the road for sale. I take a picture of the house with the number on it, send it to Seth. That's all I have to do. The next thing I know in my inbox is all this wonderful internet information about that property. Taxes, who owned it, what they've done to it, what permits have ever been taken out on it. You know, if you have a bad basement, a leaky basement, and somebody comes out and fixes it, they should have a permit. I mean, that's what the city says. So I know if somebody's had to mess around with their basement, their driveway, whatever it is, that's the kind of information you can get from a good professional realtor. I'm telling you, you can use mine. Seth Walker, 577, Matt Olson, 3728. All right, we're going to hit, what do you got, Bob?
I have a text that just came in talking about meek, since we were talking about that before the break.
Good.
It says the original definition of the word we translate to meek is a word used to describe a horse under submission. A horse under submission has to do with great strength under control, willingly under submission.
Okay, that I would humbly accept as for me.
Right. That was one of the problems that people tend to run into when they start defining meek is meek they define typically as what you see on the outside.
Yeah, I think wussy.
Right. You think of a wimp. But the reality is, and thank you for that
texture. I think of Brian
texture.
Meyer. I mean, that's who I think of.
How about passive?
Hey man, he's in Kansas.
How about passive aggressive?
You can't make fun of him if he's in Kansas.
Is Shane Vanderhart in town?
Yes. Shane
I think of Shane Vanderhart.
Yeah.
With uncaffeinated thoughts.
Right. Yeah. Give them lots of. They don't pay extra for that. All right. So, let's talk about Pokemon Go. Can we please? Yes.
Yeah. What was the other thing we were going to talk about though? Some news article or something?
Pokemon Go, mostly.
No. Was that it? No, I thought there was something else we were going to talk about that happened. Oh, yeah. No, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pokemon Go?
Yeah, Pokemon Go.
Woo. All right, so I want to know, actually, if you play Pokemon Go. That's the first thing I want to know. Do you play Pokemon Go? If you do, send us a text, yay, nay, just if you do play Pokemon Go, 515-809-0993. If you play Pokemon Go and you want to call in, you can. And just tell us what you think of it at 515-244-0077. So those are the numbers if you have an opinion about what I'm going to say, too. So this is a game. And it's a game like no other game in the history of games.
I don't play games. I don't play video. I don't think I've ever even played a video game. I mean, maybe with my grandson Gibson, he'll have me sit down and I'll do something and then I'll walk out.
You never played Pac-Man?
Well,
you put a quarter in
I never played it on TV.
Oh.
I played it. I mean, I played pinball machines and those, but I've never owned a PS1 or a Commodore 501 or whatever it is.
Me too. Also me.
Well, Pac-Man, the little thing that
I played that.
Okay. Remember Pokemon Go?
No.
Okay, so Pokemon Go is this game that's taking over the world. Literally, this is absolutely crazy. So what it is, it's a game like no other. It's a app-based game, and you're a character, and you're trying to catch Pokemon. A Pokemon is a made-up word that means pocket monster. So you're trying to catch these little cute monsters. You train them, and then they fight. But they're now virtually digitally in physical locations. So through your phone uses its GPS tracking, and it goes out and it finds GPS locations, kind of like geocaching, if you've ever done that. So there's a physical place on the planet where one of these virtual Pokemon exists. And through your phone, you can go find it using the GPS like a map on your phone. And then when you find it, you can use the camera on your phone to see it. And then you can capture it.
Well, hold on. It's not really there.
No, it's virtually there, but it's in a physical, real space. So think about it like if you're playing on a game on your phone, you're sitting in your house, whatever you're sitting where you're just playing a game on your phone, you don't go anywhere. This game requires that you get up and go outside and walk around because you can't capture these virtual monsters just sitting on your couch. You have to get up and go get them.
Are they using some sort of GPS to...
Yes.
Place the
right. It's all based on GPS stuff. I don't know. Matt Harriman can probably explain to me technically how this works, but it's beyond me technically. But it's a GPS based game, right? So it's like geocaching. There's a physical latitude, longitude point on the Earth where these things are located, and they're all over the place.
Is this a Japanese based game?
I think Nintendo owns it. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's about as much as I know about it.
And now Pokemon was really popular in the 90s. I've watched the show. I played the trading card game many, many years ago. It's still the trading card game that's like cards on the table. That's still available. People still play that. But this is a game like no other. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it, not just because it's popular and it's a virtual phenomenon, it's because it gets people up and around and going to places they've never been before. And some of those places they've never been before, Mac, are churches.
Yeah, because churches, here's all I know, is that Luke Tim, who's a regular contributor on this show, great, awesome guy. If you're looking for a small to medium-size Lutheran church or Bible-teaching church, I would strongly encourage you to go to Living Faith. It is probably... it's probably the church that I would go to if I didn't go to my church. In fact, I know that's true. Well, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Anyway, he loves it because all these kids are coming to his church.
Right. And
he put out coolers with ice and pop and stuff.
But the thing about it, Mac, is they're coming whether you want them to come or not. That's the thing. That's
I don't
the
know
thing.
if I like that.
That's the thing about this game that's got people a little weirded out. Is I don't know who's putting these Pokemon out there. I don't know how they're getting out there. I don't know how it works. That is beyond me, I'll be honest with you. But people are going to churches and skulking around the premises of the church to try to find these because they're in very specific locations. Sometimes they can be inside the building. There's been some at the Vietnam War Memorial. So you've got people just wandering around these places. The Holocaust Museum has had some at them, so people are wandering around these. And these aren't people who are going to those locations for what the location's for. They're going to those locations to catch these monsters. And it's kind of an interesting thing in the churches. Do you want random people skulking around your church or do you not? And that's kind of the question because Pokemon Go is bringing your neighbors to you.
Go ahead, Frank.
Now, it says here, Bob's got a website up, says Pokemon are occult satanic creatures poking fun at evil in Japanese pocket monsters.
It's true, they're the devil, but that's not true. It's a game.
The Second Fair blog discusses the occult practices that some individuals find in Pokemon and the cute, innocent cartoons adored by millions of children throughout the world.
There's a bunch of that.
So, but people think everything.
Hold on, back up for just a second. That was not the correct definition of this game or the people in the game. That is someone's opinion. I'm not going to run it down, but I'm also not going to lift it up.
No, it's just
those are like the people who say Lord of the Rings was an evil movie.
Sure.
Those are the people who never figured out what was the one with the lion in the closet, the wardrobe?
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
There were people who thought that was occultish or
VeggieTales.
Veggie Tales, that's right.
My goodness, veggies without arms and legs moving around talking, that's just got to be a demon.
I don't know if it was Michael Brown, but somebody was discussing it on our station this morning, and I was hearing it in the background when I was doing some stuff on the computer. I want to say it was Michael Brown, but it could have been Spencer, it could have been before that, but they were hammering it as something that was less than Christian to play, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, and maybe that's the controversy. I don't know what you think of it. What do you think of Pokemon Go? You can give us a call at 515-244-0077, or you can send us a text at 515-809-0993. I love hearing your thoughts on this because I've got my opinions, but your opinions are far more important.
Jeb?
Let's not forget the dangers that Pokemon Go presents to children.
Like what?
There have been reports already that children are wandering down alleyways and dangerous areas where these Pokemon are located, and bad people are down there and kidnapping these kids. So we got to be careful with that as well.
It sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke. He's not kidding. It's that is something to be aware of. You need to know where your kids are going. Just because Pokemon Go says to go somewhere doesn't mean you should go there.
Well, even I saw a news story. Kids are walking out in the street.
Oh yeah,
and getting hit.
There's been injuries. Now, one of the weirdest things was that via Pokemon Go, going off a person playing the game to go find a Pokemon, came across a dead body, and then were able to call the police, and the dead body was actually found.
All right, so back this truck up for just a second.
It's bizarre.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
There's the backup ding. So I take my phone. I've got my phone right here, and I download an app, which is the Pokemon
Go
app.
Pokemon
Go. Do I pay for it?
There's probably a basic cost, but most of these games have what's called in-app purchases, so you can buy things. You can pay money for tools and equipments and upgrades and different things like that.
Pay to play.
You can pay to play. And there's millions and millions.
If you want to actually compete, you got to pay money.
Do you
Really?
to fight? You have to pay money to fight.
I'm not sure about that, but games that are pay to play, if you want to compete against other people and win, you're going to have to pay.
That's probably true of this one. But anyway, the big fun is collecting them. So Frank is giving us the universal sign for we have a text at 515-809-0993.
Yeah, this is kind of short.
Service Legends Truth Text Talk Line.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you, Brian.
And it says, don't play.
Thank you. Now, is that they don't play, or they're recommending that we do not play? I do not play. I like physical games on tabletops.
That's a California-based text.
Well, there you go. California says don't play.
Don't play.
All right, but anyway,
California. You mean it's California area code?
Yeah, but they're regular texters.
Oh, are they?
So here's the question that I have, though. If you're at right now, a lot of VBSs are going on all over the place. Hope has got VBS going on. Tonight is the last night of Hope VBS at Westkirk Presbyterian at my church. So a lot of churches have VBS going on right now. What if you're doing your VBS and a bunch of random kids or adults start walking around with their mobile phones around your building like zombies searching for something? How does that make you feel? Do you become uncomfortable? Because that's actually happening.
Is that trespassing?
Yes.
Well, that's part of the question. But how do you feel about that? That's what I want to know. So you can send us a text at 515-809-0993, or you can call us at 515-244-0077. How do you feel about people lurking around your church trying to catch these pocket monsters, these Pokemon?
All right.
What do you think, Mac? What would you think about that?
I got a thought. It's us nefarious Christians out to get people on our property so we can proselytize them.
Well, we're up against a break here, so when we come back, I do want to ask some questions about this because you got to talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old. You got to walk this through me. So I've got a phone. I download an app.
Yeah.
And the app tells me to do what?
It's just like a map. You have a map app, right?
So it knows where I'm at. It knows where I want to go.
Correct. Where you want to go is a Pokemon.
I'll be honest with you. This is closed circuit just for the listeners. I have no idea. I'm not that old. I'm 57. But this is out of this world to me. So we'll try to explain it to you so at least you'll know what your kids are doing and your grandkids are doing. Or maybe you want to go out and do it. We'll talk about it live next.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer. I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs,
And I'm the service manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
3:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour. Oh, Heinz Fight, Thrive, 14th of July in the Lord's year 2016. J. Michael McCoy. The reason I was laughing is, and if you're on my Facebook, you know this, I don't have any tattoos. For a long time, that was because I didn't like tattoos and I didn't believe in them, and it wasn't a Christian thing. I'm not one of those Levitical guys. You know, I don't know if you're supposed to put... I mean, I know the Bible's clear about putting the dead on your arm, and I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
You are the temple of Christ, remember.
I understand, but see, I don't like that. Okay. That's one of those things that you screwy Christians like to beat me over the head with a rubber bat. Because if that's the case, then I better drink more water and less milk. Yes. I better lose 30 pounds. Yes. I better not eat animal fat.
Amen, brother. Keep going.
I better exercise 2-3 hours daily. And I better not, what else shouldn't I do that I could be hurting? I mean, maybe I shouldn't wear a ring or a watch because that could make a mark. Maybe I don't know.
What do you mean by putting dead on your body?
Well, isn't Leviticus real clear that you don't put the names of dead people on your body?
Oh, that's
like initials, or a lot of times people will put mom and stuff like that. And I don't know what would be wrong with having a heart on my shoulder that says mom if my mom was passed on. I don't know what's wrong with that. But anyway, so if you look on my Facebook page, there is the coolest. There is the coolest. This was about, 4 days ago. There is the absolute coolest tattoo I've ever seen. And there's no way for me to explain what it is. But basically, when you shake my right hand, the tattoo is on the forearm of my right arm, would be. When you shake my right hand, you're shaking the hand of Christ. Because it is a tattoo of Christ on the cross. And his right hand actually becomes your right hand in the tattoo. And I just think that is the neatest, coolest. I mean, just call me sick. I don't play Pokemon Go, but I just think that's the neatest thing. But I don't wear long sleeves ever. So I'm afraid that would be offensive to some people and I wouldn't be able to cover it up. So I have found Rose at Kindies in Urbandale has found me a company that will make me what you call a sleeve, and it goes over my hand, and it starts at my wrist, and then it goes over my elbow and comes up about to my shoulder, and it's flesh colored. And the tattoo, 4-color tattoo, would be drawn on that sleeve, and so it would look like I had it. And I just think isn't that American ingenuity at its best? Now I don't have to have the tattoo. Mm-hmm. Now, I suppose tattoo people will call me a faker or a poser or something because I really don't have it. But I want to thank Rose over at Kindies. That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Now, in interest of disclosure, if that does happen, I'm the one that planted that seed back when we were downtown at the Skywalk.
Wait. Hold on. I have to say this.
Seriously.
You believe him getting a tattoo is wrong, yet you talked him into it.
No. I showed him this.
Wait a minute, man. You're causing your brother to sin, and that's just wrong.
I showed him this tattoo back when we were in the Skywalk, and he thought it was the neatest thing, but he knew he couldn't get it. And now he's seen it again, and he is full bore on it.
Wait, no slurping.
So, Pokemon Go, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. We're talking about how Pokemon Go is bringing people to churches. And I'm just going to put I don't know how much time we have left. So we don't have a whole lot of time. We got a lot of time?
The rest of the hour.
I like that statement. It's bringing people to churches. Let's just end it there.
That's my point. Bob, you're 100% right. Now, I have read online that a lot of people are concerned about this. A lot of people are concerned that it's bringing people to church. Now, the way I'm saying it seems like that's totally crazy, but maybe that's the point. But I think what people are afraid of is for security reasons, for safety purposes. Frank, you've got something?
Is this inside the church or on the outer perimeter?
It could be.
Could be either one.
Could be either one.
Could
most
be
of
inside.
Yeah, most of it's outside.
All right.
I think it depends on the type of Pokemon. You know, they have different types. There's the fire, the grass, whatever, water. So you could go out on a lake on a boat and go find these Pokemon in the water.
Right.
And I would imagine these Pokemons are worth a different score. Like if it's harder to get to, it's worth more.
Yep.
And
Something
eventually
like
you're trying to play for what? Not money.
It's like, think of it like boxing. And what you are in the game is
Think of it like boxing. Okay.
What you are in the game is a trainer. You're not the boxer.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're collecting these Pokemon so that they would fight each other. And whoever wins the little fight, gets victory points and that kind of stuff. And then your Pokemon that loses is knocked out, and you make them feel better. You send them to the gym and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you're the trainer training these Pokemon. And the weird thing about it, the unique thing about it, is that these Pokemon are located, if you've ever, in reality, they're located in real physical places. And if you've ever geocached, meaning if you've ever had to find a latitude and longitudinal point on the Earth that doesn't have it doesn't have an address, like it's not 123 Main Street, but it's a physical spot on the Earth. These Pokemon are like that. They're on these specific spots. And because churches are primarily zoned for public land, a lot of these are landing in the vicinity of churches, because I'm pretty sure Pokemon Go doesn't want these going to people's homes. Although if you're playing, I understand that they come to your house, which is a whole different ball of wax.
Well, it would have to be in public square.
Yeah, but
you couldn't have people coming on private property and middle of the night, whatever, and getting shot.
So let me ask you a question. Bob, you kind of hit on what I want to say. Do you think this is an opportunity that the church should seize and say, hey, wait a minute, Pokemon Go, this game is bringing people to our churches, in the vicinity of our churches, that have never been here before, possibly. Is this an opportunity for us to love our neighbor? Or is this just an opportunity for us to say, hey, get your creepiness out of here? What do you think we should do? How should the church respond?
515-244-0077. That's the phone number you can call. Also, you can text at 515-809-0993. It's the Service Legends, the Truth Talk text line. Robert?
Well, somebody here texted in saying that Jesus has a tattoo on his leg. He's just saying that. And I don't know, how they know that.
Well, it says in Revelation that he'll come down. It's funny, I'm answering this. He'll come down on a white horse, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. And his tongue is like a sword. And his tongue represents the word, the written word of God. And he'll have a tattoo on his outside left thigh. But I don't remember what the tattoo is of. Maybe it just says a tattoo.
Well, in heaven, he's supposed to have the names of the righteous engraved in his hand.
Okay. So, anyway, go ahead and read
Another one here says, how does any of this glorify God? Just proves how easy it is to entice people through the wide gate.
Which thing? Is that Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's bringing kids to church. Now, you got to... So, I'm at a Bible study yesterday at Living Faith. Living Faith Lutheran is at 142nd and Hickman, right behind Heartland Presbyterian. Great church, great pastor, great people. Just neat church. So Luke's talking about this yesterday at the Bible study, and he says it's awesome. He said, I got a cooler outside with ice and pop, and these kids come up to the church, and rather than wondering if they're going to get yelled at, and hey, kids, get out of here, and whatever, pastor comes out and says, hey, you guys want some pop? Hey, is it too hot for you outside? Come on in. Now, that's getting young folks or whoever into a church. Now, I'm sorry. If this is the accuser's game to deceive us, God has already beat him. Because he's getting people to come to churches. Because churches are listed as gyms, right?
Sometimes. And in the game.
That's where they're supposed to fight.
Gyms is where they would, just think of boxing. So a gym is where you would go to work out and train. It's not where you would fight necessarily.
Okay.
But again, I don't play Pokemon Go, so I may be wrong. Another church in our area is doing something very similar. I want to give a shout out to them, Grace United Methodist Church. They've got one of those big, orange water cooler, those big orange coolers with the spigot on the bottom.
Yeah.
Where you can get water in it. They've got one of those outside, out front, and wrapped around it, it says, Pokemon trainers welcome. Help yourself to water and charge your phone here. We want you to know that Jesus loves you no matter what.
And where's that at?
Grace United Methodist Church is doing that.
Okay, we're coming back. Last hard break. Next hour, the CEO of Black Lives Matter in Iowa. She'll be here with your questions and mine together live.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for the opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes before 4 o'clock, 3:50 in the afternoon on the 14th day of July in the Lord's year 2016. You know, if you ever, I'm going to give you an invitation. If you ever want to come up here and sit in our studio while we do the show, you're welcome. I'm really serious. And ask some of the people who have taken me up on that. Ask Eric the cabbie. Ask some of the other people. This is a big studio. I know it doesn't seem, well, it's on the radio. But even on the webcast, it doesn't look big because it's all green screen. But we have plenty of room. I suppose we could put 20 people in here.
It'd be quaint, but yeah, I think it could work.
Plus, you'd have to have 20 chairs.
We got 20 chairs, don't we? Oh, yeah. Would say take your chair, take Ron's chair. There's 4 in the other studio.
Wow.
There's 6 in the conference room. There's 2 in mine. The other 2 desks. So we have plenty of chairs.
We could get seats, yeah.
But you won't believe what goes on when the mics are off. And they go on because the mics are off. But if you ever just want to come up here and have fun, you're welcome to do it. We really have a good time. Most of the time, unless Frank makes me mad because he's a bigot and a racist.
Oh.
Right?
No.
All right, so next hour, the CEO of Black Lives Matter Iowa will be here.
That's exciting.
And if you have any questions you'd like me to ask her, you may text them to me at 515-809-0993. That's the Service Legends text line. You can hit my Facebook. Obviously, you can call in 244-0077 and ask the questions yourself. Just be nice. When guests are in my studio, they are like guests in my home. Everyone is treated respectfully. I can't remember when I had a guest that felt like they were treated rudely. I go back 30 years. That's just the way I roll. There's a lot wrong with J. Michael McCoy, but the one thing I will tell you is that when you're a guest in my studio, my home, my car, my life, I try to teach you like Jesus would treat you. I try to be a reflection of what he wants me to be. All right. So let's walk through this Pokemon Go thing real quick. So I've got a phone, and I download the app.
Yeah.
All right. Now, it's got like a GPS map. You are here, and you want to go here.
Yep.
And do you select where you want to go, or do you just go one place at a time?
You can go anywhere you want.
All right.
And as you go walking around, your caricature on the map on your phone moves where you move, and you're going through real space.
All right.
So you're walking around your neighborhood, okay?
All right. And then I'm looking for a Pokemon.
Yes.
And when I find it, do I take... That's what I don't get. When I get to where it is, does the GPS just know I've gotten where it is? Is that it?
It knows that you're close enough that you should be able to see it.
See it? On my phone, see it.
See it on your phone.
So it's not really there.
Do you capture it?
Hang on. So then you can see it. So the screen on your phone, I believe, would then change. And so now it looks like you're in picture mode. Like you're going to take a picture.
Okay.
So you're looking at the physical world around you through your phone.
Okay.
And then you're just trying to find it. And once you find it, it's not really in real space, but it's virtually there. Your phone will actually see it in the screen. And then at the bottom of your screen, kind of like where your picture button is,
okay,
there is a Pokemon ball. It's a red and white ball. That's what you use to capture it. And I don't know how, I don't play it, but you use that then, and you fling it at it, and you capture it.
Mac, do we have any Pokemon in the station?
I don't know.
We haven't downloaded the app yet. I bet you, because we're above them all, I bet you there's a lot really close to us.
Oh, I ran into Chris, the general manager, and
of Games and More. You mean Corinne Harris?
Corinne, and they're actually going to do something.
Yeah,
they're actually going to try to put a Pokemon Go in their store.
A Pokemon in there. Yeah, it's a great way for businesses. Businesses are using it to draw people to their store. You put rare ones in there. You pay, I guess, Nintendo, and they put a rare one in your store, and people will then come in your store to catch it. And while they're there,
so
it's really good for like coffee shops and places like that.
Advertising tool, then?
It can be. Oh. See, the Nintendo Corporation is just trying to make a buck, and they've created an incredibly ingenious game to make $1. And it's really fascinating. And I think what's cool is that churches are taking advantage of this opportunity to share the love of Christ free of charge. They're not getting any benefit from it. I don't believe any of these churches are like buying these up because they're near them anyway, and they're putting up water coolers to give free sodas or water to
Living
kids.
Faith in Clive is actually putting a cooler out there with pop and cold water and inviting the kids up. But let me ask you a question. Why would Nintendo, just think about this because I want to take a phone call, but why would Nintendo make churches such a place for people to show up? I mean, that's kind of good, isn't it?
It's good for churches if they utilize it right. So
let's go to Paul. Paul at 244-0077. How you doing, Paul?
Not too bad. Hey, Chris had it right there. If the church uses it right, I think there's a verse in Ezekiel, something about sheeple. Sheeple going astray. Sheep, be like sheep gone astray, something like that. Frank would know the verse.
Okay, all right. So what do you think of this? So what do you think?
The Pokemon thing.
Yeah, are you playing it?
No.
Okay, now wait a minute. That wasn't a simple no. That was a no.
No.
So why?
Well, I got a flip phone.
Oh, that's why.
I'm an idiot. I gotta go to a flip phone.
No, you're not an idiot. You're just not smart.
I can't afford it. No, I need a smartphone to be really smart.
Well, would you play it if you had a smartphone?
No.
All right, Paul, appreciate it, man. Thanks for listening. 515-244-0077 and 515-809-0993. If everything works as I have asked, this always scares me because it's 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Now, we don't go on until 6 after, so we actually have 9 minutes, but I don't have the person from Black Lives Matter here yet, so you never know.
Well, Chris, help me to understand this. Is this something that churches would be inviting, or is Pokemon, is the makers or the builders of the game, are they placing these things on church property?
Yeah.
Or are churches asking for it?
They're being placed in all kinds of locations without asking permission of anybody. They're just out there. I don't know how that part of it works, to be honest with you. But the interesting thing here is, I believe the reason that churches are being so heavily used by it is because they're zoned as public property, right? It's a commercial property. So the Nintendo Corporation is not going to be just putting these in citizens' yards because there's going to be problems if you do that. It's not safe for people to put it in.
And they're not going to put them in the White House.
And they don't want to put them in certain places. They want to make sure people are safe. So churches are safe places.
All right.
So this is a great opportunity, I think.
Okay, so I just thought of something funny.
Yeah.
And I'm prophetic here when I say this. There's going to be a lawyer somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to sue for virtual trespassing.
Yep. Well, it's not even virtual. It's real. Oh, you're saying by putting a Pokemon on...
They're going to sue Nintendo.
Ooh.
Because if they sue Nintendo, Nintendo's going to have to pay to put that virtual Pokemon on your property, even if it's public.
Yeah, it's going to get weird.
This is going to get weird.
It's going to get very weird. It's a fascinating game, and I would encourage churches to love your neighbor through this. This is a cool opportunity for us to love our neighbors.
All right, going to take a break. 4 o'clock, Salem Radio Network News. We'll be back at 4:06 if everything works right. I'll have the young lady from the CEO of Black Lives Matter, Iowa, here in the studio. Let's pray. Let's pray for a wonderful, enlightening show. We're coming back live.